Okay, folks, here we've got another beautiful car, and check out the other videos we've done with Glenn, but this is his collection, and he's going to tell you about what we're looking at in just a second. But off camera, I posed a question, and I want you guys to leave a comment down below as well. But Glenn, what is it that makes us so passionate about rubber, chrome, paint, engines, bodywork that forms automobiles? What is that one bug that we all got bit by? Or what is that gene that we were all born with that makes us so passionate about automobiles, cars?
Well, for me, it's a multi-phase answer, or multi-tiered answer. First of all, being a man, you know, the masculine aspects of cars with big horsepower and the performance and the design that, you know, look muscular and they're, you know, they perform in a muscular fashion and have power, and the sound and the, you know, it gets your adrenaline going and the chest and the that's right, and the smells and smelling the racing fuel and you know, this, that, and the other thing, and winning. You know, all the auto manufacturers were a part of racing in one form or another, and you know, everybody likes to be a winner. Yep. So there's that aspect, but for the most part, at least for me, and again, I grew up just outside of Detroit. You know, used to, you know, run the streets up there, cruising Woodward and Gratiot and Telegraph and all those places. It played a significant part of my life. Yeah. So therefore, I have an emotional tie to it, because the things that I enjoyed and had fun doing with my friends, and you know, back when you were a single guy, you chasing girls, trying to look good, have them look at you. The automobile played a significant role in that, in who you were and what you liked, and you know, kind of being seen by people doing those things, and it for me, it really became part of who I am, and that's why I have these cars today, because I have an emotional tie to them that I enjoy. I mean, it's been part of my life, and one that I enjoy and just don't want to not be a part of, not have it be a part of my
life. Right. There's so many levels as to how they appeal to us. But I swear it's above my pay level, but I'd love to speak to someone that one day is a psychiatrist or something that could actually drill down and tell us why there is such that passion out there. But I tell you, it's a deep passion. Yeah. It is. It runs deep. And you've got an eclectic car collection. You're admittedly a Ford guy, yes, but we've already looked at a Mopar, a Charger. We looked at an AMX, so that's AMC. Yep. I don't think there's any bow ties around here. So
I've had them though. Okay, I had one up until just very recently, a very nice C3 Corvette. Okay. It was a beautiful, beautiful car. I've had Trans Am. I've had other bow ties. Okay. They've just recently, I've kind of changed some things around and shifted my collection a little bit. So they've sort of been put to the side, and that's a good focusing on some others.
That's a good thing about them. They're nice cars, so at some point someone else might want it, and if you want to get rid of it, it's easy to get rid of, and now you can go find something else to play with.
To speak to this point, but the reason I got rid of those vehicles, and it's not that there's anything wrong with those vehicles, and not that they don't do this same thing for other people, but I decided, because I'm, you know, unless you're dang Jay Leno, you only have so much room. Okay, and I decided that I wanted to focus on cars that had more of that emotional appeal to me. Okay. And like, even the Corvette, as nice as it was, and I hated to see it go. Yeah. And the Trans Am, which was a super cool car, and I had one back in the day. Right. I had a '79 that I had fun driving around. Okay. and they were both great driving cars, both beautiful. They didn't have that emotional draw to me personally, because I like, you know, big, powerful, something that has more of a visceral effect
The one that just grab you and hold
Yeah,
on to you and
that's
say,
right.
pay attention to me.
And maybe have some deep history, to performance or something like that. There's some aspect on each one of the ones that I want to have.
Okay.
That draws me to them. And
Meets that.
That's right. That meets that.
Well, then tell us what we got behind us, because this is, again, and I'm going to say it in several videos that we're filming of your cars here today, this is unique.
Yes.
And if you folks can kind of see from the front end, but tell us what we got here.
This is a 1967 Mercury Cougar XR7, okay? It's painted in fawn, which they
Yeah, that
only
is
made
not the light, folks. That's not white. It is actual fawn.
It's like a pastel gray color. And they only made 123 of these, period, in all Cougars.
Not just the XR7,
Yeah,
but
that's
in
right.
all the Cougars made for 67,
Only 123
were
were painted fawn.
123.
That's right.
Wow.
Over black leather and a black vinyl roof. And it's loaded up, factory air that blows cold. And
Now, you said leather,
Yeah.
and you said no, but I asked you, I said, well, that wasn't standard. And you're like, no, on the
Yeah,
XR7,
XR7,
leather
it was standard, that's right.
But on the regular Cougars, it would have been either what, cloth
It's
or the vinyl?
vinyl.
Or the vinyl,
Yeah,
okay.
it was just vinyl.
You know, I got to take a look at the interior, because
Yes.
I've always been a fan of these cars, and that dashboard, to
Yeah.
me, is always, it's classy. Look at that. Yeah. Now, the other thing I was telling you, I thought I knew a little bit more than evidently I don't, but we all know these are based on the Mustang chassis.
Yeah.
But I never knew until you just told me off camera. These are actually a longer wheelbase.
Yeah,
I
they
thought
had-
it was the same exact car.
No, they added 3 inches to the wheelbase of this car because it's a Mercury and
Yep.
upscale one level to give it that Mercury ride. And also, a Mustang, there's no room between the forward edge of the back seat and the back of the front seat.
Oh, yeah, look
This
at that.
one, this got a little more room in it because it's a Mercury.
Right.
So and these seats are both all the way back in the front.
Yeah.
At least the driver's side is, I know.
But
But
yeah.
anyways, you actually have a little more usable leg room in the back seat of a Mercury than you do in a Ford.
But the most important part, like you just said, is because it was a Cougar and it was the XR7, it's the luxury version.
that's right.
So they made the longer wheelbase so it did ride better.
It rides a little better,
So
that's
you
right.
had that more luxurious
Yeah,
ride.
yeah.
And I'm sorry, folks, icon of all icons, it's on this car because, and we're not going to be able to see them because we're in the bright light, but these are the sequential
Yes.
tail lights.
And they work perfectly. Do-do-do-do.
Yes. And I'm, who doesn't? Come on. I have in the past seen Mercuries that I've pulled up to behind at a stoplight or a turn lane just so I can sit there and watch those sequential lights because
Yeah,
it's so
that's right.
cool. Actually, I had a 2010 convertible Mustang, and they had the sequential lights.
Yep.
And I always thought, well, this is cool, but I'm driving it. I don't get to see those.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody else does.
Everybody else does. So I'm thinking, okay,
And they're
well,
thinking you're cool.
yeah, there you go. I'm cool. There you go. But just all of the emblems on it, the cat, the sign of the cat.
Yeah.
Lincoln Mercury, the sign of the cat. Just everything. Now, I just noticed that. So they've actually got the Mercury head on
Yeah, on the
the
wheel.
center
Yep.
cap.
Yeah, that's a factory style steel wheel.
Okay.
And that's the original wheels that came on this car.
Now this hood scoop. Tell me about that.
Yeah,
that's
that's,
unique.
It's an XR7 G hood scoop, and it's a factory style piece, and I just think it looks as cool as can be.
It's big enough, but it's not overly big, and
Yeah.
they did a really good job of following all the
Yeah.
body lines and everything. It really sits on there nicely.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's a factory piece. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Right, but even factory pieces sometimes. You could go
that's
with
right.
the later 70s Mopars, and they had the big shovel
Yeah, that's right.
scoop.
It looks like somebody just threw
exactly
a paint can upside down.
Exactly, bent up some tin and screwed it to it.
Paint tray or whatever.
Exactly, but yeah, and I always love the hidden headlights
Yep,
on it.
and they work perfect.
And again, they wanted you to know what this was because
Yeah.
you've got Mercury on the rear right quarter of the trunk, and you've got it on the left
Yep.
front of the car here. And then again, I mean,
the Mercury head,
the Mercury head, and then
Cougar.
That's just such a classy emblem, the Cougar. It's always been. That's just a cool car. So tell me, what have we got under the hood then?
This one
Look at
has
that.
the factory 289, factory air, blows cold. You can hang meat in there, but just the nothing really special about it. It's
Right.
just 289 4-barrel.
Now, that's original valve covers and air cleaner?
No, I have replaced
Okay.
those.
So the Cougar emblem on it wouldn't have been
No,
there?
that's
okay,
right.
Okay, all right.
But I got those just to dress it up a little
Gotcha.
bit.
But that 289, I mean, rock solid.
Oh yeah, no, look.
Come on. I mean, it evolved into the 302, but just,
that's
yeah.
right. The 289s don't get near the credit they deserve. You know, some of the Le Mans winners in the GT40s in the later years were 289s. And when they
Oh.
first started developing
Really?
the GT40,
Yeah.
it was a 289 in there.
Really?
Not the Mark IV, 427s.
How about
And the first Cobras, as we know, of course, the
Yep.
first ones were 260s, but then
Yeah,
they
yeah.
went to 289s, and the 289 is what made the Cobra famous. Nobody could
Torquey,
even,
little, dependable, just,
and you couldn't out-handle a 289 Cobra.
yeah.
427s, they were faster in a straight line for sure.
Right,
But they
right.
couldn't get around the track like a
Well, they
289.
were too nose heavy then.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's right.
much more nose heavy than the 289.
You had a
so-
289 with Webers and a Cobra
Yeah.
on a track,
Yeah.
you are untouchable. Untouchable. But yeah, the legendary power plant, really, that doesn't get near the credit it deserves.
So you're
and just it almost indestructible, a 289.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
You
yeah,
almost can't kill it.
No, it's just ubiquitous Ford
Yeah.
workhorse engine
Yeah.
is the 289, and like I said, then the 302, and it's like, oh, that's, yeah, that is definitely the workhorse engine
Yeah.
that they've had for years and years and years, and they are absolutely bulletproof.
Bulletproof. That's
Yeah.
right.
Now, you were telling me this is a fairly low mileage California car?
Yes.
Okay.
50,000 original miles from California.
One respray.
One respray.
Okay.
Because it sat out in the sun for a long time, and the
Okay.
paint was just like chalk. I mean,
Okay.
the body's perfect. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
if you get inside like the trunk and look inside the inner fender wells and all, and I've been underneath it, of course. I've had it on the lift over there in the
Right.
other garage. I mean, it's just the cleanest, metal that you'll ever see.
Did you have to put a new top on it with it sitting out in the sun like
Yes,
that?
I
So
did that as
kinda
well
got baked as
because
well?
it was the top was perfect and
Yeah.
there was no rust underneath it, which is rare for a vinyl top because
Yeah.
usually you get rust underneath a vinyl
Right,
top.
right.
There was no rust, but it was just it had all these little, and it didn't look bad at all. But
Right.
when you got close to it, it had little check marks from being dried out from being in the sun.
Oh,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
okay.
Like
Yeah,
it
yeah,
looked like
yeah.
a bunch of little slits.
Yep, exactly. Like a vinyl top will do
Yeah,
over
if you
time
stood
in the
5
sun.
feet back, you wouldn't see it.
But when you get close, you'd
That's
see
right.
the,
But-
okay.
So when I resprayed it, I said, I got perfect paint on it now,
Yeah,
and I got a top that's got all this checking in it. So I said,
yeah.
I got to put a new top on it.
It's like taking a shower.
So that
and
was the
putting
only
on an
reason the top went on it.
Yeah.
It didn't look bad. It just wasn't. I mean,
It
this
didn't meet the rest of the car.
That's right. This paint is near perfect. So it's.
But-
I had to put a top on.
Oh, yeah. But you've done nothing to the dashboard or the
No,
interior?
no interior, underneath the car. I mean, none of that.
I can't get enough
It's
of that
not even been
dashboard.
painted inside the door sills.
Yeah,
I mean,
the door jambs are still the same?
That's yeah.
What a nice car. So, why this Cougar? Why? I know you're a Ford guy, and I get it, but what is it? Just something you happened across? You said, "Hey, that's remarkable.
No,
it's a Cougar," or you went looking for the Cougar?
It's the styling. I had one before.
Yeah.
It was green, beautiful car.
Okay.
Green metallic.
Yeah.
And it is a black vinyl top car with the what they call camel interior, like a tan.
Okay.
Okay. And gold pinstripes.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Had a friend talk me out of that one after I got this one. Otherwise, that car would have never went anywhere.
Okay.
But I have just always, since I was a boy, loved the styling of these
Yes.
Cougars.
Yes.
They look. I can't think of another car that looks like it, to be honest with you.
no.
And with, like you were talking earlier about the sequential taillights, the
Yeah.
hidden headlights, and then you look at that dash with, you know, the wood grain, you know, European style dash and,
yes.
and the wheel, toggle switches, you know, full instrumentation.
Well, I'm sorry, but Ford hit it out of the park at that time, the Ford Motor
Yes.
Company and the Lincoln Mercury, because Mustang was so cool. Now, that was named after a World War II fighter
Yep, the
airplane.
P-51, that's right.
But then Cougar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, really?
And the
Cougar.
Mustang was almost a Cougar first. And they,
The prototype was.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, you can find pictures in the archives of
Okay.
a Mustang with the Cougar emblem on in the corral instead of the Mustang.
Okay.
But then they decided to go with Mustang, and then
So
Mercury.
they'd probably already bought the rights to Cougar, so they now own it. And
Yeah,
named this.
that's right. So Mercury picked it up for their version of the Mustang,
Okay.
which
Now, I
they
know-
gussied up a little bit.
Now, I know they made Cougars on that Fox body platform up into the 80s,
Yes.
but do you recall what was that last year? Would it have been early 80s, 82, 83? No, that's right. They made them after that, didn't they? They made the Aero Cougars.
Yes.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, because as a matter of fact, I had an 87 Turbo Coupe Thunderbird.
Okay.
And they made that same style 88.7 and 88, which had that turbo 4-cylinder in it.
Okay.
Intercooled.
Which was what? That was in the, yeah, right, because that
Yeah.
was like the SVO.
Yeah, that's right. And then they had, after that, for at least a few years, what they called the Super Coupe, which had the 3.8 Essex V6 with a
Yeah.
supercharger on it, that
Yeah.
Eaton supercharger.
That's right. Okay.
And that was 89, 90, maybe through, I'm sure 91, but maybe even 92.
But then-
but they had the Cougar variant of
But that was the
As well.
downsized, more swoopy one than it
That-
wasn't the Aerobird. It was the next generation after that.
the 89 through 90, whatever it was a flatter, wider.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Lincoln had a Mark something that was that similar style, T-Bird,
Yeah,
Thunderbird with
yeah,
that
that's
similar
right.
style. They weren't really nice. I never was a big fan of the style.
No,
I think they lost all their panache because they lost their
I
styling.
quit liking the styling in 88. What
Yep.
you know, those turbo coupes, they called them.
Yeah.
You know, they had the beaks on them. They
Yep,
came to
yep.
a point.
Yeah.
I just really thought that styling was.
Car
Yeah, those cars
ever.
handled phenomenally. I think I told
Okay.
you earlier.
Yeah.
Back when I worked at the Proving Grounds for
Yes.
Ford, Jackie Stewart come in and he helped develop all the suspension geometry and the ride and handling.
Bet you
of all
guys
those
didn't know
vehicles.
that, did you? Jackie Stewart was contributing to the suspension of the ride of these cars.
He was with Ford and helped us a great deal in developing the ride and handling of all our vehicles back then.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah. Of course, we all know the story, Ford versus Ferrari. So, I mean, the chutzpah of Henry Ford to say, okay, don't sell me your company, then I'm literally going to go out there and kick your butt.
Yeah.
And for the first 3 or 4 years, they failed miserably at it. But then they got the secret sauce with the GT40, and the rest, as they say, was history.
That's
What,
right.
4 years in a row?
Four years in a row.
Multiple car winning, first,
Yeah,
second,
that's
third,
right.
you name it. So, yeah. And like you said, then they were done because he kind of proved his point.
That's right. Hey, the Deuce even said that. I think I proved my point.
Yep.
I'm done. I'm going to go to the house. Have a good day.
You know, we were talking earlier in another video and again off camera that, you know, at this time in the mid 60s up until late 70s, you could even argue into the 80s with the Aero Ford and Bill Elliott and stuff. Ford was dominating in any race you pick, F1, Trans Am, NASCAR. They didn't get the credit of the Superbirds and stuff because they were outrageous styling, but Ford was kicking butt left, right, and center.
Ford dominated every form of motorsports at its highest level all over the world.
You guys can't tell that Glenn's a Ford guy, right?
Total performance.
Total.
That was their
And it wasn't just a slogan with no backing.
No,
they backed it up.
They had the goods.
And I wasn't a Ford guy at the time, but even you guys, bow tie and Mopar guys out there, you got to appreciate, just like I do Mopar and Ford, others, that they were rocking and they had it together. And the engineering was there. The speed was there, the reliability, the bulletproof of the engines, and like you said, they brought in people like Jackie Stewart. They weren't messing around. They were serious about not only go fast, stop fast, but handle like crazy.
Yeah. And I love them all. I like, General Motors products. I like Mopars. You can see I even like AMCs. I got a few of those. But you just can't deny. I mean, you can if you want, but you're just going to be wrong. The performance credentials that Ford Motor Company had in every form of motorsports worldwide.
We said it earlier. You and I are Southern guys, so I said it earlier. You can't knock the Wood brothers, David Pearson, you name it, Junior Johnson's early career and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah,
Coleman Moody.
Yeah, these guys were Ford
Bud
guys.
Moore.
Why? Because they knew when they went to the track that you didn't go to the track to race. You went to the track to win.
That's right.
And you didn't take something you didn't think you could win in.
That's right.
All right. Well, Glenn, hey, thank you again for showing another beautiful vehicle out of your collection. I want to pan again to the front here because, I just absolutely love these Cougars. They're gorgeous cars. Those hidden headlights, the sequential tail lights, you name it, the emblems, everything. But hey, thank you again for sharing another one of your beautiful cars with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Glad you're here.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, folks.